Actually, my whole thing in life is I like to work till I drop.
I think that's often the best way. Keep doing what makes you happy and what you enjoy. And at least if you die happy. You die doing what you
Oh,
want.
but this is, as I said, this is just absolute love doing this.
You've got a passion.
How I have, yeah.
How long have you been a hairdresser?
All of my life, that's all that I ever done.
Gosh. Was your family hairdressers?
Yeah, my dad, yeah.
In Italy?
Yeah, no, he was a hairdresser. That's how I got started. Yeah.
And you were born in Italy, weren't you?
I was born there. Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Sicily, Messina.
Messina. And when did you move to Australia?
63, I think it was.
And how old were you?
10.
10. And did you speak any English?
No, not one single word.
So how did you learn English?
Well, in those days, there was no such a thing as multiculturalism. And anyway, because there was no such a thing as multiculturalism, you were forced to, well, you were just sort of thrown down the deep end. And if you didn't speak it, well, that was your bad luck.
So did you pick it up from passers-by, or people you met, or the television, or the radio?
No, I've always been one of those types that, how would you say, always wanted to have information and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, so what I used to do is I used to get books and watch television and ask a lot of questions.
Why did you move to Australia?
Because there was no work in Italy, things were pretty tough for my father. Those days things were really...
Were you homesick for your friends and family back in Italy?
Oh, you wouldn't believe how much. You left all your friends behind from when you grew up and, from when you were a little kid. And then you come to a strange country.
And how long did it take you to get over that homesickness?
It must have taken me at least 4 or 5 years easily.
And did you keep in touch with your friends back in Italy?
Well, it's one of those things, you keep in touch, you ask questions, you sort of say this is how I'm doing, but the trouble is after a while, you know what I mean, it's just...
How did you get into hairdressing?
Well, I wanted to be a mechanic. I love cars. And my mum said, no, it's too dirty, I'm not washing any uniforms. So basically this is it, but I'm glad because it's just been such a beautiful job. As I said, I met people like Gough Whitlam. I met big shots, I met bank managers, I virtually have met everybody.
You mentioned Gough Whitlam, but you've also had Michael Jackson, Demis, Roussos as clients.
Yeah. I just wish I had taken some bloody photos.
What was Gough Whitlam like?
The best, mate. That's how I got my education. That was my education, I was Gough. He was the type, you have a conversation with him, he comes back 2 weeks later, and he expects you to remember exactly what...
A very intelligent man and very much an academic.
Underestimated, mate. Underestimated.
Did he come in with bodyguards?
Nah. He never came with a bodyguard.
How long was he your client?
33 years.
And did you consider him a friend as well?
We were friends. We really were friends. I mean, the one thing that I worked out after he died is that really made us friends was that I used to talk to him the same as I talk to you, the same as I talk to anybody. When people came in and I was speaking to him, they put something on. With me, never. The way I saw it was the way, and I used to tell him straight, and I think he appreciated it, and that's what made us friends.
What was Michael Jackson like?
Spoiled. Like a little kid.
That was back in the 70s, it would have been when he came in. And Demis Roussos?
I would have probably been around. Nah, he was a pig.
Really?
I didn't like him.
Was he arrogant?
Oh, no, just that he was right up himself.
You mentioned that once Julia Gillard came into your building where you used to work.
Yeah. And there was an American that I was cutting his hair, came in, and he was really surprised that she came in, and he said, oh, she's got no security guards. She only had 2. He didn't count all his security.
If it was America, there would be agents, special agents around carrying pieces, lots of security. Have you ever been to Mardi Gras?
No, I've never been there, but not just because there's always been something else that I had. I watched it on TV. I've seen quite a few relatives, friends of mine, that I sort of said to my wife, "Oh, they're gay," and she said, "No, what are you talking about? They're not gay, you know." And then we saw him going, "Oh, because you were right."
So you have Sundays off. What do you tend to do on a typical day off?
I'm not going for drives.
Long drives.
Yeah, I'll get there, but right now I've got a mess. I've got things to finish off here. I've got so it's going to be a while, but yeah, no, I love the simple things in life. I love being with friends. I love having a few drinks. I love going to a restaurant. Don't drink, don't smoke. Just love life.
Was there a reason you don't smoke or drink?
Yeah, my father used to be a 3 packets a man day. He used to smoke 3 packets a day, and he died of emphysema.
Was that recently or some time ago?
That was almost 20 years ago.
Gosh. So you suddenly learned your lesson there. It's
Oh,
quite a shock.
you got in the house, somebody that smokes 3 packets of cigarettes a day, you get in the house, and the house stinks,
And why the drinking? Why didn't you drink?
When I was young, I used to drink, and I had a very bad car accident. I almost killed a couple of people in the accident, and I sort of said, look, I don't need to drink, and that's the best thing I ever did, because I can go out, have a few drinks, go with the mates, they have a few drinks, I drive them home, and believe it or not, I have better fun than them, because I know exactly what's happening, and they get up the next day and say, oh gee, that was fantastic, but I don't remember. I mean, how can it be fantastic if I don't remember?
What's been the most rewarding thing for you being a hairdresser all these years?
Just love the job, absolutely love the people that I met, people like you, people like Keith, he comes in, we have a bit of a chat, real friend, we can talk about anything, everything. Charles is a very, very extremely educated guy, just meeting that sort of...
Oh yes, one of your clients, great guy,
yeah,
Charles.
Yeah, just meeting that sort of people. What more do you want?
And what advice do you have for anybody who's thinking of becoming a hairdresser?
I really don't have any advice. It's a great job. That's all that I can say. But you have to have an attitude. If you don't have an attitude for it, forget it. You just have to have the feel.
It's clearly a rewarding profession for you because you've been doing it 50 years and I think 43 years in your original premises.
Yeah.
But you do other things. You're a man of many talents. You do courses, don't you? Like carpentry and...
I've done mechanics, I've done spray painting, panel beating, virtually done everything. I ran out of courses to do it too. And the only reason I'm not doing it now is because the stupid bloody Liberal government killed them all.
So they took a lot of money from education.
That's
from
right.
the tapes and colleges.
Yep.
How do you find time to go to TAFE when you work pretty long hours?
Very hard. It's the studying that it's the hardest. You can't go to TAFE without,
So there's extra hours of home study as well.
Yeah.
Do you have to do things like exams at all?
Oh yeah. Otherwise you don't get your license.
You must be a very qualified person.
Oh, actually no, I'm not, I've done all the courses, but the trouble with the courses that I've done is that they are apprenticeship. I sort of done them, but I never worked in a shop. And unless you work in a shop, you don't get,
You need that practical experience too. Have you ever had any accidents as a hairdresser? Have you ever accidentally cut anybody?
I suppose I have, but thank God there's never been any, just a tiny little nick, there's never been any,
Have you ever had any difficult customers?
You always get them.
How do you deal with them? Do you have any tactics?
You just put up with it. What can you do?
You just sort of grin and bear it.
Well, that's right. A lot of people think that they are superior.
You must also have some delightful customers
Oh,
too.
of course. Look at Keith.
Keith's wonderful. It's our friend, mutual friend Keith, who introduced me to you. The man who's actually filming us today. Whose voice you will have heard. Disembodied voice.
I should have shaved at least, you know, like this. I look. Well, it really feels funny, you know, being out here now, you know, doing it.
You've got an audience on the street, people being able to see you. Were in the basement before. But now, because you are visible on the street, people can see you at work and it hopefully bring in a lot more customers. Well, you had quite a few customers before anyway. This should help bring on bigger and better things. A bright new future.
As long as it pays the rent. That's all that I'm interested in right now because the bills are adding up.
I can imagine rent would not be particularly economical in this part of Sydney.
No, I can tell you it's not.
Was it tough to find new premises?
Yeah, it really was, yeah. Yeah, this is why as soon as this came, I just had to sort of try to grab it.
Carmelo, could you tell us again about the customer whose son was marrying outside the religion? You don't have to say which religions, and what you actually said to the customer?
Well, I threw him out of my shop, really. I didn't do much.
Could you start from the beginning? What was the situation of this man and his son?
Oh, he's very religious, and you know, and in the Jewish religion, if you married outside the religion, so he actually came in and he was sort of telling me how terrible it was, and they said he actually had a wake for his son, that he was dead, so you know, never gonna see him again. And yeah, so that's when I sort of explained to him that whatever happened, that was his son, and he shouldn't be like that. And you know, one day he was gonna have you know, grandkids. And you never know, they'll probably, you know, well, they can't be Jews, they have to turn into Jews, but the only Jew from the mother side of it. So, anyway, at the end I ended up telling him not to come anymore because just didn't like his attitude.
Will your children visit your new premises?
They've been here, we had a bit of a party, here's the champagne cork. Yeah, so we had a few drinks. I actually had a glass of champagne.
So you did drink?
No, I do drink, but not to get drunk. Just
Carmelo, any advice on parenting? You've got 3 young people that you brought into the world, and they're now fully fledged. Any advice for us who do not as yet have children?
Well, the thing with kids is you have to be with them, you have to advise them, you know, you have to tell them what to do, and every once in a while if they need a smack, you have to give them a smack. Not a smack, not a bashing, just a smack. And that goes a long time into what's right and what's wrong. Never mind what the psychiatrists say.
So you think a little bit of a smack?
Yeah, just a smack, you know, yeah.
What do you say to all these people say? It's violent.
And you always have to explain why you're doing things.
So any action you do, you must explain it.
Well, the thing in life is that if you don't get a smack when you're young, you get a smack when you're older, in the sense when you get a job. You don't sort of fit in and you have to do, you know, you don't fit for whatever, you know, that's like getting a smack. So it's best to get it young so you're prepared.
How do you feel about Jermaine's Greer's remark that we all get hurt in life and that's just the way life is, and that we shouldn't mollycoddle and protect groups of people because each one of us is at some point in life going to be affected negatively by someone saying something or someone doing something or legislation or something like that? Do you feel that we have to basically just take it, or do you think we can reform things so that there's a better quality of life for everybody?
Well, when I came to Australia, I had a very hard time. I learned a hell of a lot from those hard times. It gave me understanding because I went through it, you know. So a lot of things, that's just the way life is. You can't sort of, you know, it's not always easy street.
There's a lot of challenges in life.
And that's what makes life. I mean, look at me, I stayed 43 years in one place, and now, just to move out, it's just so strange.
whole new environment for you. If you hadn't become a hairdresser, what do you think you would have done?
Probably mechanic.
Because being a mechanic was something you considered, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wanted to.
Do you think there's similarities between being a mechanic and a hairdresser?
No way, completely different. Completely.
Where do you get your own haircut?
I got my son. He used to come in when he was a kid. I get him to cut it for me.
Wow. How does it feel to be a hairdresser yourself, but trust somebody, even your own son, to cut your own hair?
Well, I have to be honest, I'm very nervous when my son cuts my hair.
No nasty accidents? Yet.
Not yet.
That's my favourite bit, when you put that damp brush and you sort of wipe the side of my face. That's always, I find, the most soothing part, the bit you just did.
I think many of your fans would like to be in Carmelo's position, William.
I'm sure many would. I'm sure many will. I hope people come and see you at 134 William Street in Sydney, just on the doorstep of King's Cross and the CBD. Fantastic location.
Well, as I keep saying, it would be nice.
Well, I've already seen people looking through your door, through your glass, through your window.
Sydney's most respected hairdresser, Carmelo. You just say the word Carmelo and people know you're talking quality.
The ear to the stars, the hairdresser to celebrities.
Yes.
And prime ministers. Let's not forget that.
And fathers and sons and
Absolutely.
businessmen, and you have them all in here, don't you? The magnates, you have the biggies, and you have people who are just ordinary folk,
People like me.
and people like William.
Well, what can I say? I'm lucky.
No, we're the lucky ones, I feel.
I've always been lucky. I was born lucky.
And you're very easy to talk to. And you're not nosy. You're
No.
never intrusive. I've had hairdressers in the past who can be very intrusive. They want to know how much I earn. They want to know all about my life, how I moved to Australia. And I don't mind answering those questions, but when I don't know somebody, I can find it a little bit strange.
I also find indifference very irritating for a hairdresser. They ask questions purely by rote.
Yes.
They're mechanistic questions. How's your day been? I find that actually intrusive. How's your day been?
And it can sound at times insincere.
Oh, I think it is mainly insincere, yeah.
No, that's one thing with me is that no, I don't just sort of say things when I say something. It's because we're having a conversation, not.
Exactly.
What do you think a conversation actually entails, Carmelo?
Well, a conversation. I actually most of the time, whether I like it or not, I find it exciting because it's a different point of view. And the biggest thing with if you're really concentrating, that you're having a conversation, not one of those things where, hi, how are you? Good, thank you. That it's when you're having a conversation, you actually, a real conversation. You're using your brain. You are actually learning. There's different opinion that I have had, and I had discussion with Keith here, and I had different opinions. And all of a sudden he came out with another opinion. I said, wait a minute, I never thought of that. Yeah, that's a good opinion. So it actually keeps your brain going.
It's a dialogue, really.
And that's sort of doing things like that, yeah. And doing things like that, it got me to reading psychology books, and so I think I do know a bit about life.
It's about teaching and learning. We're both teachers. We're all teachers. We all learn this.
Everyone is our teacher. The ones that love us, the ones that hate us, the ones that couldn't care less about us. They're all our teachers.
And part of having a dialogue is learning and teaching and listening and maybe taking that advice on board and maybe being open to having our mind changed or changing the ideas of others.
That's even nicer.